can imagine it, technology can create it. It entertains, heals, connects, and protects. It greets us in the morning and guides us home at night. It can make our dreams a reality and can make reality feel like our wildest dreams. Technology completely changes how we see the world, each other, and the future. With tech by our side, we have the potential to solve the world's greatest challenges. Food security, access to healthcare, sustainability, and environmental impact. The more critical the issues, the more critical the need for problem-solving tech, especially as part of our pursuit of human security for all. So, as we move forward together, we do so surrounded by the world's greatest technological advancements all in one place. More than ever, CES 2024 is the celebration of all that tech has to offer humanity. There's positive energy in the air. We move forward with both hope and confidence because we're creating solutions in a global effort to make the world a better place. We're all on for powerful connections, joyful experiences, new opportunities, and everything that tech makes possible. Right here, right now. We're all together. We're all in and all on.
Please welcome to the stage CTA President Gary Shapiro.
Thank you, and welcome to CES 2024. You know, for decades, CES has been successful because we bring together innovation from across virtually every sector of technology. Every technology industry is here, and in a sense, that's kind of what's contributed to Siemens' success as well. From healthcare to mobility to food production, you'll find Siemens technologies transforming industries and even transforming our world. And they've been doing it for more than 175 years. In fact, if you're in New York City, you can't walk a block without passing a building touched by Siemens automation. And if you took an Uber or a taxi from the airport to get here, odds are good it was designed using Siemens software or manufactured in a factory with Siemens automation. In fact, Siemens is making electric grids around the world smarter with technology that helps save energy and support the transition to renewable energy. And leading the global charge is Siemens there. It's working for better health as the manufacturer of half the world's MRI and CT scanning technology. And that's thanks to the leadership of President and CEO Roland Busch. As a career physicist, he's a problem solver by nature. His commitment to innovation is translated into a highly successful 30-year career at Siemens, where he's led the company in its transition from a brand known for phones and medical devices to a technology company leading the way in high-growth sectors. Roland is also personally committed to developing technologies that will help us solve some of the biggest challenges of our time, and at the same time create a better, greener, and more sustainable world. Let's take a look.
It's human nature, a hunger to explore, to imagine, to invent. We're wired to ask questions. The more impossible, the better. And the challenges of our modern world have innovators, engineers, all of us, looking far and wide for answers. What if the answers aren't out there, but here? where technologies that combine the real and digital worlds allow us to massively accelerate the rate of progress and address our most pressing problems, where these combined real and digital worlds replicate the realities of physics, but defy the limits of time and enable innovators to design, build, and test before a single part is forged, before a drop of fuel is spent. And what if we made these combined worlds available to anyone, so their innovations could take you anywhere? What if we could use these worlds to transform the way we make and do something about food security, to transform the way we live and deliver quality healthcare, to transform the way we move and power greener, safer cars, to transform the way we play and redefine adventure? What if these combined real and digital worlds let us build zero-emission factories, grow nutritious food more quickly, affordably, sustainably, and ensure every child could live a full life? What if we could make our buildings smarter, our cities more livable? What if these things weren't just part of a grand vision, but the world we live in, where ideas from anywhere can solve real problems everywhere?
Ladies and gentlemen, to kick off CES 2024, please join me in welcoming Siemens President and CEO, Roland Busch. Thank you and welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Technology. Technology is the most powerful tool humanity has. It got us where we are today, and it will take us where we need to be. And that's exactly what Siemens does and has been doing for almost 2 centuries. We create technology to transform the everyday for everyone. The technology we built is often hidden, but it's literally everywhere, and it's working behind the scenes, helping you, helping our customers, to make buildings safer, more comfortable, more sustainable, to make power grids more reliable and renewable energy more widely available. It's making transportation safer and greener, whether we are talking about your daily commute or a journey to the edge of the atmosphere. It's making healthcare more equitable and the treatment of disease more effective. And it's making factories more efficient and more sustainable. But there's so much more we need to achieve. Mitigating climate change, preserving biodiversity, managing scarce resources, overcoming labor shortages, or producing healthy food for 8 billion people. No one can do that alone, no company, no country. We need everyone to contribute, and there's good news. Something big is changing. 2024 is a turning point. Today, we can build and use technology faster than ever because we can combine the real and the digital worlds. And here's what I mean. You need highly trained engineers to build and run things in the real world. Infrastructure, manufacturing, transportation, you name it. Design cycles take years. Deploying new tech in the real world is expensive, and mistakes cost billions, sometimes even lives. But this is changing. And the change has a name. The Industrial Metaverse. With generative AI and the Industrial Metaverse, building and using technology is becoming easier and faster. A lot easier and a lot faster. We will be able to accelerate innovation, accelerate sustainability, and accelerate access to new tech. Tonight, I will share my vision for how AI in the Industrial Metaverse will redefine reality and transform the way we live, work, move, or make. And let me say it again, the Industrial Metaverse will redefine reality and transform the everyday for everyone. Yet, the word industrial is very important. The Industrial Metaverse is a virtual world almost impossible to distinguish from the real world. An immersive space where people and AI can collaborate in real time to solve real-world problems. In other words, it's a place where you combine the real and the digital worlds. A place for industrial innovations. So, what exactly will this immersive virtual world allow us to achieve? Remember, it accelerates innovation because you can simulate whatever you want to build in the digital world before you build it in the real world. In fact, the Industrial Metaverse, in the Industrial Metaverse, the time flows differently. Iterations that once took years can be done now in seconds. Remember, it accelerates sustainability because wherever you build, you can understand and quantify the environment impact. That allows you to build products using less resources and to build products that can be recycled. Remember, it accelerates access to new tech because everyone can now contribute to ideation, design, and production. This includes workers with less experience. Smaller companies can go all in with complex development projects. Well, sounds amazing. Will it really work that way? And I tell you, it already does. Take a look at our most advanced factories. And we built it twice. Before we poured the first concrete, we simulated the plant with a digital twin. We optimized the building, the factory layout, the process flow, and even the manual work. And once the digital twin was perfect, we built the factory in the real world. And we built it faster than ever. Manufacturing capacity is up 200% compared to previous factories, productivity is up 20%, and energy consumption is down by 20%. So, the most critical building blocks of the Industrial Metaverse are here right now, and they are part of Siemens Accelerator, our open digital business platform. The building blocks are the digital twin, software-defined automation, data, and AI. And now let's take it one by one. What is a digital twin? Let's look at this airplane. You step on board and you want to be safe, you want to be on time, you want to be comfortable. It can take aircraft companies easily 10 years to create a new plane. That's why they use digital twins for the airplane to accelerate design. They accelerate sustainability by using digital twin simulations to reduce fuel consumption. And they accelerate access to new technology with digital tools and AI that makes it easier for their people to design and build. So, the digital twin is the chief building block of the Industrial Metaverse. And it is not just high-quality 3D rendering like for computer games. The digital twin we build have much more depth. They are physics-based. So what happens when we shake it, heat it, drop it, or change the software configuration? And the digital twin not only looks like the real thing, it behaves like the real thing. And we've been working on this technology for 30 years now. And today, we can give you a high-fidelity virtual representation of, well, anything. Airplanes, yes, but also power grids, factories, complete cities, the products you buy, the Mars rover, or even a beating human heart. And in the Industrial Metaverse, the interaction will be so immersive, interactive, so lifelike, we will hardly be able to detect whether we are manipulating a physical object or a digital twin of one. We can do it without traditional bounds of time. So when something goes wrong, we can go back to the moment the problem first appeared and fix it, or ask an AI co-pilot to do it for us. We can simulate airflows over the plane wing to improve aerodynamics. We can simulate the drag on a car to improve performance and also efficiency. Have a smartwatch? You can simulate how every component works for consumers like me and also for the most serious athletes. We can simulate the bubbles in champagne. And yes, souls matter. And yes, they are engineered too. We even have customers using our technology to engineer the perfect wave while optimizing water consumption. So far, so good. We've built the digital twin, optimized it. What matters now is, can you actually produce it? And this is where software-defined automation, the second building block of the Industrial Metaverse, comes in. It is about combining the real and the digital worlds. It's about what happens on production machines, what happens in factories. 1 in 3 factories globally runs on Siemens controllers. These are little boxes with software and hardware in them, like mini brains all around the factory. These mini brains tell the machines what to do. So they synchronize in a beautiful choreography, millisecond by millisecond. These controllers are called PLCs, programmable logical controllers. Here's the issue. Today, PLCs speak industrial programming language. So if you want to talk to them, you need to learn this exotic programming. It's time for a revolution in factories. That's why we are launching the next generation of industrial controllers, virtual PLCs. In a factory for the automaker Audi, we will moving hundreds of PLCs into one rack. 100 virtual controllers instead of 100 little boxes. So you can run the small private local cloud from miles away while still fulfilling real-time requirements. You want to ramp up production? A few virtual controllers to be added with a few mouse clicks. You want to run software updates? 1 click for all of the controllers in your factory at once. And you want to reprogram your machines? You don't even need to learn an industrial programming language. You can use any modern software code. And it's not just factories. Everywhere you look, energy grids, office buildings, trains, they are all being operated and optimized by PLCs. Of course, you can't just have good brains, you need to feed them good data too. And that brings me to the third building block of the Industrial Metaverse: data and AI. Any idea how much data a highly automated factory generates? Well, it's more than 2,000 terabytes per month. That's the equivalent data volume of about 500,000 movies, 500,000 movies every month. And I tell you, no plant manager will ever upload all this data to the cloud. The Industrial Metaverse, though, is a space where this data becomes information, where raw numbers become actionable insights, with the help of edge devices and AI. Edge devices collect all the information on the shop floor and recognize important patterns. They filter the data and forward only what's important. AI allows you to access all the knowledge in your company so you can better engineer the solutions you need. Generative AI, large language models, let you talk to your machines in natural language as if they were human. A few weeks ago, we announced a great innovation. Together with Microsoft, we have built the Siemens Industrial Copilot. This acts as your programmer and revolutionizes the way you operate your machines. Well, to accelerate the pace of software development across industries, we are continuously expanding our ecosystem. And tonight, I'm proud to announce a new solution we were launching. Together with Amazon Web Services, we will make the power of generative AI accessible to all by integrating it into our low-code development platform, Mendix. Using low-code platforms such as Mendix, anyone can create computer code. No need to spend years learning a programming language. You just drag and drop the elements you need, but integrating AI functionality in your low-code programmed application has remained a challenge. Not anymore. Now, for the first time, you can pick a generative AI model and add it to your application with just a few clicks. So, anyone, programmer or not, can enrich your low-code or even no-code apps with AI, making them smarter than ever before. Let's talk more about it with Matt Wood from AWS. Hi, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much.
So, we have a long-term partnership with AWS, very successful one. What makes you so excited about this new announcement?
Well, generative AI is probably the single largest change in how we're going to interact with data and information and each other since the very earliest web browsers and the very earliest internet. And organizations that invested in those very earliest web browsers and the very earliest internet have gone on over the past 25 years or so to experience extraordinary growth and extraordinary innovation. I think we're going to see the companies that are investing in generative AI today experience that same level of growth over the next 25 years, 25 weeks, however long it might be.
Cool. So what does it mean for software developers? How does their life change?
Well, with software development, at one point you really had to try and have a deep knowledge of machine learning, of data science, and today with Mendix, you can just connect to multiple Amazon Web Services machine learning models, drop them inside your application, and start reinventing the customer experience, reinventing your products, and reinventing your processes.
So they would be able to bank on your offerings from AWS regarding AI and generative AI models?
Yeah, absolutely. At AWS, we have a slightly different approach than some other folks. We don't believe there's going to be a single model to rule them all. And so on AWS, we give you, and through Mendix, you can access with just a few clicks, different artificial intelligence models which are good at natural language processing, predicting elements, that can manage automation, that are manage different levels of reasoning, all within Mendix without having to know anything about the machine learning models themselves.
I assume that not all of you are programmers here. How can non-programmers, not software workers, benefit?
Yeah, sure. There's a famous quote from sci-fi author William Gibson that I love. The future is here, it's just not evenly distributed yet. And through this integration between AWS and Mendix, we're bringing the future and making it evenly distributed so that absolutely everybody can take advantage of generative AI. The programming language of the next decade is not going to be the traditional way that we've been writing code. It's just going to be natural language. You're just going to describe what it is that you want the system to do, and it will interpret it automatically. And that's an incredibly democratizing and incredibly exciting opportunity to reinvent every product and process.
Cool. So watch out, Mendix local platform supercharged with AWS AI and generative AI.
Awesome.
Matt.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, we've talked about using the digital twin for design and simulation in the Industrial Metaverse. We've talked about how software-defined automation lets you make things real. And we talked about how data, the currency of the Industrial Metaverse, helps us adapt and optimize in the real world. When you put all of them together, you get the immersiveness of the Industrial Metaverse. And to tell you more about this, I'm delighted to welcome to the stage my colleague and friend, Cedrik Neike.
Thank you, Roland. How cool was that? Now, even Roland can program now, so I'm a bit afraid, to be very honest, but it's going to be really cool. And he's going to work on important things like champagne bubble. That's what I just learned. I'm half French. That's very important, right? Very important when you're half French, the champagne bubbles. But let's put the jokes aside. I know that for most of you, when you hear metaverse, you think it's where you go to escape the real world. For us at Siemens, the metaverse, actually the industrial metaverse, is where you go to make the real world better. And Roland told you, look, we use digital twins to do that. So I brought you a digital twin. I actually brought you a digital twin of a boat, and you see where's where. But you can also see beautifully how it actually would feel like. You would actually see how does it look like at night, how would it look like if there's a storm. You can simulate everything, and it looks really, really great. Now, if I speak about looking great, the Industrial Metaverse is using a technology you might recognize from movies like Finding Nemo, right? The company Pixar, which transformed the way we enjoyed entertainment, did this by creating a 3D standard for movies, which was called USD, the Universal Scene Description. So USD allows engineers and artists to work together to make a movie. Now what happened is Pixar introduced this standard for movies. Now we are extending it into industry. So I'm very excited to announce that we are joining the Alliance for OpenUSD. You can clap, yes. So why is that important? Because engineers have access to beautiful 3D images, as you saw, and it has the information of physical and mechanical data. They can experience how much an object weighs, how they perform, just as they would be in the real world. So that's super important. So the important part is to make this industrial metaverse work, you cannot do it alone. Multiple companies have to work together. So I brought you a couple of other examples. So this is something we've done with NVIDIA. So with NVIDIA, we came up with the capability to build the next BMW plant in the metaverse, in the industrial metaverse first. We work with Microsoft to optimize with AI the factories in terms of better automation. We work with Amazon Web Services to put the data into the cloud and make it more scalable. So you get where I'm going. This is all about collaboration. So tonight, I'm honored to announce a world premiere. It actually involves the company which changed my life when I was 14. A company that made music portable, the Walkman, right? It changed my kid's life also with the PlayStation, and by now most of you know which company it is. Yeah, Sony. Sony shares our view that technology powering the gaming industry can be used actually in the industry space too. So together, we're going to take all of you into the industrial metaverse. And to show you on how it's done, let me introduce and welcome our partner from Sony, Yoshinori Matsumoto, Yoshi, can you come in? So Yoshi, that looks great. What is it?
This is our brand new head-mounted display for 3D content creation.
And what do you use it for?
Okay, please take a look at the video.
Okay.
First, we had manual drafting, then 2D computer-aided design, then 3D. And today, Siemens and Sony are introducing the next generation of industrial design, immersive engineering. Thanks to the combined power of Sony hardware and Siemens software, immersive engineering will make industrial design immersive, intuitive, fun for designers and engineers everywhere. That's right. Just put on this new head-mounted display and you'll be instantly transported to a virtual world nearly indistinguishable from the physical one. Attach the controller to your finger and you can manipulate your designs in an entirely organic way, just as if you were playing around with an object in your hands. But of course, you're not just playing around, you're in the Industrial Metaverse. You're using accurate engineering data so you can prototype virtually, efficiently, sustainably. And you can do it in collaboration with colleagues all around the world, leveraging your team's collective knowledge seamlessly in real time, working together to realize better, more purposeful, more transformative innovation. It's the tight integration of Sony's hardware and Siemens software that makes this possible, that lets you experience your digital twin in a fully immersive, incredibly natural way. So you can validate your designs faster than ever with far fewer resources. Just like you see here in the cockpit of a Formula One car. Instead of just experimenting with a digital twin of the race car's steering wheel, the design and engineering team at Red Bull Racing experiences the steering wheel in a comprehensive virtual environment in the Industrial Metaverse. They leverage data from software to place the wheel properly. They interact in real time with CAD data. And then they transport themselves to a virtual racetrack where they can validate visibility, check eye lines, and perfect their work before they launch it in the real world. This is immersive engineering. It is the future of design and manufacturing. It's what will let you step into the Industrial Metaverse. And it's coming to you exclusively from Siemens and Sony.
Look, Yoshi, that's incredibly cool. It's incredibly powerful. So tell me, why did Sony choose Siemens and why did you go industrial?
Sure. So at Sony, we are always passionate about collaborating with creators.
Yes.
We utilize our cutting-edge creation technology to support creators in the various fields to realize their dreams. So recently, we are focusing more and more on what we call the spatial content creation, where creators can seamlessly go between the real world and the virtual world in the 3D content creation. This led us to the idea of combining a high-quality head-mounted display and dedicated controllers to make a tool for 3D creators to create more intuitively in an immersive environment. So when I first heard about your immersive engineering concept, it clicked right away for both of us, hopefully.
For us too, yes.
So the idea of your industrial metaverse where creators can create and share even between remote places, that really, really excited us. So I believe our technology can make it all the more of an immersive experience. So combining our technology and your expertise, I see great potential to redefine the way how industrial designers and product engineers will create our product we use every day.
No, absolutely. And a little secret, both of us are mechanical engineers, and it was very different when we started creating products. So my question is how is this going to change the work space?
Well, so it enables creators to comfortably get immersed in the industrial metaverse with stunning visual quality across the full process, process, from modeling to reviewing. So actually, I worked, as I mentioned, that I worked as a product engineer about 10 years just after I joined Sony. And for example, the product of the Sony DVD player or something. So, and now, I really wish that I had access to this technology back then.
Exactly.
At that center, we used the pencil and papers. So. But what I mean is the process would have been more intuitive with a flat-running car, especially for young engineers, to make their ideas a reality. So I believe this kind of innovation and collaboration with creator will attract the talent to the engineering field and ultimately fuel further innovation.
Absolutely. My kids were trained on the PlayStation, and they can actually now become engineers. No, absolutely. The advantage of this technology, it lets you not look at the metaverse, it lets you be in the metaverse. The immersiveness you just described means that you can interact with the tools in a very, very unique way. So Roland talked about accelerating actually access to technology, and this is a perfect example. Yes, anyone can actually put on the headset and be an engineer or designer and collaborate with anyone in the world, even me. So that's, I'm going to try, absolutely. So for doing that, I want to say a huge thank you for Yoshi. I would love to keep this one, but I think this is the absolute world first one at the moment. So please give a huge round of applause for Yoshi.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing this to us. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much. So the question, of course, is why do you want to be in the industrial metaverse? Well, how many of you have thought, if only I'd known? Yes, a couple of you, right? So the industrial metaverse gives you the gift of hindsight because it lets you test ride every one of the options you're thinking of faster than ever. Not one time, not two times, not three times, but 1,000,000 times faster. Now I'm going to tell you about some peoples which are really, really fast. Year after year after year, they're the best in their industry. An industry where every millisecond counts. Please roll the video.
What if the world-class technology we developed here allowed us to win championships here? And the way we engineered cars for F1 drivers revolutionized cars for everyday drivers.
For more than 20 years, Siemens have been part of our journey. Their involvement isn't just about providing technology, it's about real-time solutions in a high-pressure environment like Formula One.
What if greening from factory to flag put the whole automotive industry within reach of net zero?
Siemens technology enables us to interpret information quickly and helps us make better decisions on track as well as in the factory in our design and development work.
What if technology was actually the great equalizer and also the great differentiator?
We brought home another championship, and we couldn't have done it without our partners at Siemens. Siemens technologies work to help us navigate unpredictability, maximize speed, and win championships. Now, I'll turn things back to Cedrik to share more about where Formula One is going and how technology is keeping Oracle Rubber Racing on top.
For Max mentioning my name, I'm cool with my kids, so that really was worth it, definitely. But now let's bring somebody out who's actually a member of the team who has been designing for years these championship-winning cars. Rob Gray, if you can come on stage, that would be fantastic. Great to see you, Rob. Look, you saw me and Yoshi on stage with this immersive engineering. We had some Red Bull here. Tell me, how much is it really used?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of early days for us at the moment, I'll be honest. We're really investigating all the applications, getting more and more into it. And I think the first thing we're probably going to use it for is how we communicate between the factory and the track when we want to make changes to the car and really making sure that the guys building the cars at the track understand what the designers want to happen with the car.
So it's really communication back and forward and understanding on where it is.
But then on the advanced technology side of the business, where we're designing the RB17 track-only hypercar, we've been using VR for carrying out our styling reviews, and that was to speed up the styling process. And I can really see how the immersive engineering is going to further speed up that process because it's going to allow us to make real-time changes to those styling models. So rather than a loop taking a couple of weeks, it's going to be a few hours.
So it's amazing. I mean, the RB17 is the new hypercar from Red Bull. So you're using it in Formula One, you're using it for the hypercar. But let's talk about sustainability, because I know that Formula One wants to go to be sustainable by 2030. Can you use these sort of industrial metaverse technologies also to go forward in this direction? What is the plan?
Yeah, sure. And I think it's integral to moving forward to 2030. And for 2030, we're looking at before 2030, we've got new engine regulations coming. So Red Bull developing their own engine, and for the 2026 regulations, the engines will be 50% combustion engine, 50% electrical power, and the fuel that the combustion engines are using is going to be 100% sustainable. And that's going to be across the grid by regulation. So that's a big step forward for Formula One. Then back at the factory, we're being helped by you guys, being helped by Siemens, so thank you, to model all of the power use on the Red Bull campus, understand how that power is best used, make sure we're using it most efficiently. And then we're doing other simple things, eliminating single-use plastics. We're recycling all of our manufacturing waste, reusing heat in the manufacturing process to heat the factory, all that kind of thing.
So is this only be used for race cars and hypercars, or can this be used also in other areas?
No, well, I mean, our division is very much taking the Formula One technology and applying it into other industries and making sure that trickle-down does happen. So at the moment, you can see we're working with the Alinghi Red Bull Racing team on the America's Cup yacht. We're working on MotoGP bikes, we're designing push bikes. There's a whole raft of applications that we're using that Formula One tech for.
And that's important, because this halo effect which you're describing, sounds like the space industry which we're working in, where from the space industry, new applications go to other industries. Teflon, I'm not comparing your car to a Teflon sort of invention, but something of this is happening, and I think this is super important. So let me thank you so much for being here. I don't have to wish you luck because you have the best technology, but still, I want him to win the next races. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Rob, it was great for having you.
Thank you.
Now, we're mentioning racing against time, which is what you do in Formula One. But the same technologies actually the Red Bull racing team is using to become more successful and to be more sustainable can also be used to solve some of the world's biggest problems, like food security. So I'll tell you a little story. There's a company we work with which is called BlendHub, and the founder, Henrik, told me a very inspiring story. He said basically, since he was a kid, he liked to cook. And cooking basically is ingredients and its recipes. And as he grew older and older, he realized that billions of people don't have access to the right recipes or definitely not the right ingredients. In fact, more than 800 million people worldwide are affected by hunger. And even more, 1 in 3 suffers from some form of malnutrition. So one part of the solution to address this in the modern food industry is food powders. All right? What's that? Why? Because powders are easily mixable, they're very easy to transport, and they have a very long shelf life. And for the last 50 years, we've done the same thing. The industry has done the same thing. They took ingredients from one part of the world, shipped it around, transformed it into powders, and shipped it back. That's a huge waste of time and resources. So Henrik said, I want to change this whole food powder value chain, and I want to transform it the way we're actually making this food. So he came to us, and together we created a localized, technology-driven approach, where instead of centrally producing these powders, BlendHub can produce them as close as possible to the actual manufacturer or the actual users also. And in order to do this, they basically said, what are we going to use? They're going to use the digital twin, the software-defined automation technologies to create those microfactories. These microfactories can be shipped around the world. They fit into a 40-foot container. So this is unique because you can then ship around and then you can meet the unique nutritional needs of local populations. I'll give you an example. One of the populations BlendHub put one of those in is in India, in a small village, where they had a girls' soccer team and they realized that there was a vitamin D deficiency. So they made some shakes, some smoothies, specifically optimized with vitamin D, addressing that malnutrition issue. So the result is BlendHub brings more food to more people in more places. That's just one company that is transforming the way people live. I'm going to introduce somebody else, which is very remarkable, an entrepreneur whose company could have an impact on millions of people. So this is Easton, LaChappelle, and at 14, as you do, he wanted to create a robotic hand. So he tinkered with Legos, fishing wire, windshield wiper, and he did it. Now, by the age of 16, he actually built a bionic arm with opposable thumbs and got a national attention, winning a local science fair. Since then, Easton has gone on transforming the whole prosthetic industry. He's transforming the way children move, play, live. But this story is so great, nobody could tell it better than Easton himself. So let's give him a huge round of applause. It's first time at CES also.
Thank you.
Easton, great to have you here. So, how did you go from experimenting with Legos to build a company with Unlimited Tomorrow?
It's been a tremendous journey, to say the least. You know, one of my favorite sayings is to learn something new every day. And you know, as you mentioned, I had a really incredible moment happen at a science fair. I entered this robotic arm that I made that could toss a ball, interact with people, and I met a small 7-year-old girl that had an $80,000 prosthetic limb. And it blew me away, right? And the thing was that she was going to soon outgrow it. And the more I looked into this industry, the more I realized I had to be that change I wanted to see. And I shortly founded Unlimited Tomorrow.
And you used quite a bit of the technology we just described. Can you just take us through which one of the technologies you're using?
Absolutely. Well, I think it's interesting to point out that we've not only developed and innovated on the product side, but also the process side, how people actually receive prosthetic limbs. And so we deploy 3D scanners and use that rich anatomical data.
It's iPads you're using, right?
Yep, we're using iPads with hardware attachments and soon-to-be mobile app, you know, tapping into the incredible smartphones that we have. We take all that 3D scan data in, and we, of course, use Siemens NX to make the sockets, and we also create digital twins of every device that we make. So there's no sizes, it's uniquely shaped and contoured to every person that we work with. And then, of course, we use additive manufacturing. That is how we bring it to life using industrial materials. So it's strong, it's lightweight, it's durable, but it also looks beautiful and matches skin tones exactly.
I mean, that's really, when you talk about technology with purpose, that's what it is. What is the impact on the patients' lives, actually?
You know, it
These are all your customers or your patients.
And these are the people that make us get out of bed every day, and it's the reason that we do what we do. And you know, it's been really incredible, you know, for us to witness. It's really small, simple things, right? It's not extravagant tasks or things. It's maybe holding a cup of water, opening up a door, you know, independence, right? And we've put a lot of time and energy into the function, of course, but also the psychological side. Children outgrow these devices really quickly, and so having a care model behind that that encourages that and really makes it an extension of someone and empowers them.
And you do this at 90% of the cost of the normal sort of limbs, which is amazing.
Yes.
So with 14 building your first Lego arm, with 28 being successful in this, with the technology, where do you take this next?
Well, unfortunately, this is a growing population. There's over 50 million amputees worldwide, with only 5% having access to prosthetic care and technology. So we are looking at this as a holistic, global challenge that we are tackling. And so we're motivated to make a serious dent in that number. And we're also developing some new products. And you know, for Unlimited Tomorrow, we've been really innovative how we read data from the human body, but also put data back into the human body, which is really difficult. So we're coming out with some new products shortly, which we'll be announcing soon, that we think will revolutionize the gaming, education, and medical industry even further.
Can I get the applause you need? And wish you all the success you have. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Look, what you heard is actually an innovator's dream, a dream which is actually made possible by the Industrial Metaverse. But there's a couple of things it requires. It requires us to work together, large and small. That's why we joined OpenUSD. It requires immersiveness because you have to be in it to be able to change it. That's why we launched together the headset with Sony. It requires you to make the right decision very fast, the gift of hindsight. That's why we demonstrated how we could do this with Red Bull. It requires pushing technology as closely as possible to the consumers and the producers as we can do it, like we did it with BlendHub to address malnutrition. It's fundamentally empowering any one of you to turn your dreams into a world-changing innovation like we just saw from Easton. Because when we talk about the Industrial Metaverse, when we talk about combining the real and the digital world and making those combined worlds accessible to everyone, it's not just about the technology, but it's actually about changing lives. It's actually about changing the world. In order to bring this home, let me get Roland back on stage, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Cedrik. Let's bring it home. I want to share one more story with you. It comes from the healthcare sector, and the area is relevant to everyone. At Siemens Healthineers, we are working to improve cancer care, from early detection and diagnosis to better treatment, quality, and access. Because we want to see every cancer patient get to ring the bell. And here again, tech and AI will improve our health system by creating more photorealistic diagnostic images, by helping doctors diagnose cancer earlier with more precision, and by shortening the time needed to create treatment plans from weeks to hours. To share more about how technology is transforming and extending lives, please welcome on stage from Siemens Healthineers, Ashley Smith.
Hi, Roland.
Hi, Ashley.
Nice
Good to have
see
you.
Thank you.
So tell us, how is technology changing cancer treatment and treatment planning?
At Siemens Healthineers, we're using AI at every step of the care journey to make it more effective and efficient for patients. For treatment planning specifically, you need really good diagnostic images, and we've developed software that automatically detects the organs within the diagnostic image. The cancer care team can then use that information to create highly personalized treatment plans that maximize that radiation dose to the tumor while minimizing the impact on all the normal healthy tissue.
How does the doctor's way of work change now?
Well, AI is making it possible for doctors to customize and personalize treatment, not only to maximize chances for disease-free survival, but a better quality of life after treatment. For example, our adaptive radiotherapy system uses AI to accurately tailor treatments to each individual to improve outcomes. Its algorithms make it possible to use real-time imaging to target tumors very precisely. The system can then adjust for day-to-day changes in the anatomy right on the spot, which was not possible before, and this can lead to fewer complications. So all of this is being managed using software that is constantly aggregating data that we can then analyze at a population level and have a better chance of working out predictive models of who will benefit.
This is a great example, and we see that in many, many other areas too, where the combination of professional expertise, doctors, and AI gives better outcomes. So what does it mean for patients then?
Roland, that's the most important part. Because when you get cancer, every minute counts. But cancer is complex and treatment is complex. No two cancers are alike because no two patients are alike. AI is speeding up cumbersome parts of this process. At every step along the way, it increases efficiency and personalization. At Siemens Healthineers, our goal is to help clinicians provide the right treatment at the right time and ultimately help create a world where people don't have to fear cancer.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for the great view.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Look what's possible. Diagnosing cancer faster and treating it more effectively. Producing whatever we need, but using less resources, less natural resources. Making transportation carbon neutral. Making tech so easy that everyone can contribute. Solving problems for the real world has become much, much easier. So much faster. With generative AI and the Industrial Metaverse, we all can accelerate innovation, accelerate sustainability, accelerate access to new technology. I love solving problems. That's why I joined Siemens. And that's why I've stayed at Siemens. And that's where I have a chance to solve problems at scale. together with 320,000 colleagues all over the world, together with new technologies and generative AI, together with partners like AWS, Microsoft, Sony, and thousands of big and small companies all over the planet, together with customers with whom we co-create. And you know what? I hope together with you. Thank you very much.